Why highly spiritual people avoid these three things for higher vibration? Let me ask you something. When was the last time you truly felt aligned with yourself? Not just happy, not just peaceful, but deeply connected to something beyond your daily existence, a sense of clarity, purpose, and boundless energy. If you've ever felt that, you've probably had a glimpse of what it means to live in a higher vibration. But here's the thing, maintaining that level of alignment and energy is not easy. It requires discipline, awareness, and perhaps most importantly, letting go of certain things that drag your vibration down. Today, we're going to explore why highly spiritual people avoid three key things in their lives to sustain and elevate their vibration. These aren't arbitrary rules or superstitions. They are deeply rooted in universal truths, spiritual laws, and the practical wisdom that comes from walking a path of inner growth. As we go deeper into this, I want you to reflect on your own life. Are you holding on to these things? And if you are, what would happen if you let them go? Let's start by understanding what we mean by vibration. Everything in this universe, including you, me, and every object around us, is energy vibrating at different frequencies. When we talk about raising our vibration, we're talking about aligning with higher frequencies that bring about peace, love, joy, and clarity. Lower vibrations, on the other hand, are tied to fear, anger, resentment, and confusion. Imagine your vibration as the soundtrack of your life. Is it harmonious and uplifting, or is it chaotic and dissonant? The choices we make, the habits we form, and the energy we surround ourselves with all determine whether we're tuning into higher or lower frequencies. Now, here's the first thing highly spiritual people avoid: toxic relationships and environments. Think of your energy as a garden. If you're constantly surrounded by people who are negative, critical, or draining, it's like pouring poison into the soil. No matter how much you water your plants or how much sunlight they get, they won't thrive. And it's not just about other people. Sometimes it's the environment you're in. Are you spending most of your time in chaotic, stressful, or uninspiring places? These environments can subtly but powerfully lower your vibration. But here's the tricky part: toxic people and environments don't always look like what you'd expect. A toxic relationship isn't always someone yelling at you or putting you down. Sometimes it's someone who constantly leans on you for emotional support but never gives back. Or it's someone who encourages you to stay in your comfort zone when deep down, you know it's time to grow. Ask yourself who in your life feels like sunshine and who feels like a storm cloud. And are you brave enough to set boundaries, even if it's uncomfortable?
Click subscribe to this channel to get more profound spiritual lesson.
Highly spiritual people understand that their energy is sacred. They don't waste it on people or situations that drain them. This doesn't mean they're unkind or judgmental. It means they prioritize their own well-being. Because here's the truth: you can't pour from an empty cup. If you're constantly giving your energy to people or situations that deplete you, you'll have nothing left for your own growth or for the people who truly matter. So, the next time you're in a conversation or a situation that feels heavy or draining, pay attention. Your body and intuition are always giving you signals. The question is, are you listening? Now, let's move to the second thing highly spiritual people avoid: unnecessary distractions and overstimulation. But we live in a world that's constantly vying for our attention. Our phones buzz with notifications, our minds race with a million thoughts, and we're surrounded by endless entertainment and information. But here's the paradox: the more we try to fill every moment with activity, the more disconnected we become from ourselves. Have you ever noticed that the best ideas, the deepest insights, and the most profound moments of peace come when you're quiet and still. That's not a coincidence. Silence and stillness are the gateways to higher vibration. Highly spiritual people know this, which is why they consciously limit distractions in their lives. They don't spend hours mindlessly scrolling through social media or binge-watching TV shows. It's not that these things are inherently bad, it's that they recognize the cost. Every moment you spend distracted is a moment you're not fully present. And presence is everything when it comes to raising your vibration. Think about it. How often do you truly sit with yourself without any distractions? No phone, no music, no external stimulation, just you and your thoughts. For many of us, that idea is uncomfortable. We're so used to filling every moment with noise that silence feels foreign, even intimidating. But here's the irony in that silence. You'll find the answers you've been looking for. You'll reconnect with your intuition, your inner wisdom, and the energy of the universe. The question is, are you willing to embrace it? One of the most practical ways to reduce distractions is to create rituals of stillness in your day. Maybe it's 5 minutes of meditation in the morning, a walk in nature without your phone, or simply sitting in silence before bed. These small moments of presence can have a profound impact on your vibration. And remember, it's not about being perfect. It's about being intentional. Start small and notice how it feels to give yourself the gift of undivided attention. Finally, let's talk about the third thing highly spiritual people avoid: holding on to fear and resentment. This is perhaps the most challenging, but also the most transformative. Fear and resentment are like heavy chains that keep your vibration anchored in lower frequencies. Fear tells you that you're not safe, that you're not enough, or that the world is against you. Resentment keeps you stuck in the past, replaying old wounds and grievances. Together, they create a cycle of negativity that's hard to break free from. But here's the thing: fear and resentment are not who you are. They are passing emotions, like clouds in the sky. The problem is, we often cling to them, either because we're afraid of what's on the other side, or because we've identified with them for so long that we don't know who we are without them. Highly spiritual people understand that letting go of fear and resentment is not about ignoring or suppressing them, it's about facing them with courage and compassion. Ask yourself, what are you afraid of right now? What are you holding on to that no longer serves you? And what would it feel like to let it go? These are not easy questions, but they are necessary if you want to raise your vibration. One of the most powerful tools for releasing fear and resentment is forgiveness, not just of others, but also of yourself. Forgiveness doesn't mean condoning what happened or forgetting the lessons you've learned. It means freeing yourself from the chains of the past so you can step into the present with an open heart. Highly spiritual people practice forgiveness not because it's easy, but because they know it's essential. They understand that every time you forgive, you lighten your energetic load. You make space for love, joy, and peace to flow into your life. And isn't that what we're all seeking deep down? So, as we wrap up this first part, I want to leave you with a question: what would your life look like if you let go of the things that are lowering your vibration? What would it feel like to surround yourself with positivity, embrace stillness, and release the weight of fear and resentment? Take a moment to sit with that question. Let it sink in. Because the answers you seek are already within you, it's just a matter of tuning into them. The silent power of detachment, how letting go unlocks your true potential. Now let's dive deeper into one of the most powerful yet often misunderstood principles of spiritual growth: detachment. Detachment is not about rejecting life, nor is it about isolating yourself from the world. It's about releasing your grip on the things you think define you: your possessions, your relationships, your achievements, even your beliefs. Why? Because clinging to these things creates resistance. And resistance is the number one enemy of a higher vibration. Think about it, how often do we tie our happiness to something external? I'll be happy when I get that promotion, I'll feel complete. When I'm in a relationship, I'll be at peace when everything in my life is perfect. But here's the hard truth, chasing external validation or outcomes is like trying to fill an infinite void with temporary things. It never works. The more you attach your sense of self to external circumstances, the more you give away your power. And the more you cling, the more you lower your vibration. Highly spiritual people understand that true freedom comes from detachment. They don't let their happiness depend on things they can't control. Instead, they cultivate a state of being that is rooted in the present moment, where peace and joy are not conditional, they simply are. This doesn't mean they don't care about the world or their goals. In fact, it's quite the opposite. Detachment allows them to engage with life more fully because they're not weighed down by fear or expectation. But let's be honest, detachment is easier said than done. How do you let go of something you've spent your whole life identifying with? How do you release your attachment to a dream, a person, or even a version of yourself you're desperately holding on to? The key lies in understanding this attachment is not love. Attachment is fear disguised as love. When you're attached to something, you're not truly experiencing it, you're trying to control it. And control comes from fear of loss, fear of change, fear of the unknown. Let me ask you something. What are you most afraid of losing? Your answer to this question will reveal where you're most attached. And once you recognize that, you can start to loosen your grip. One of the most effective ways to do this is through mindfulness. When you notice yourself clinging to something, whether it's an idea, a relationship, or an outcome, pause. Take a deep breath and ask yourself, is this attachment serving my highest good, or is it keeping me stuck? Consider this. Imagine holding a fistful of sand. The tighter you squeeze, the more the sand slips through your fingers. But if you relax your hand and hold it gently, the sand stays. This is the essence of detachment. It's not about pushing things away, it's about holding them lightly, with grace and trust. When you let go of the need to control, you create space for the universe to flow through you. And in that flow, miracles happen. There's another layer to detachment that's worth exploring, the idea of surrender. Surrender is not about giving up, it's about giving in to the natural rhythm of life. It's about trusting that the universe has your back, even when things don't go according to your plan. Highly spiritual people understand that surrender is one of the most powerful acts of faith. They don't resist life's challenges or try to force outcomes. Instead, they embrace the unknown with an open heart, knowing that every experience, good or bad, is an opportunity for growth. Ask yourself, what would it feel like to surrender your need for control? What would it feel like to trust that everything is unfolding exactly as it should, even if you can't see the bigger picture? This is not about being passive or complacent. It's about aligning your actions with the flow of life, rather than fighting against it. When you surrender, you're not giving up your power, you're stepping into it. Because true power comes from alignment, not force. Detachment and surrender go hand in hand, but together, they create a state of inner freedom that allows you to rise above the chaos of the world. When you're detached, you're no longer a slave to your fears or desires. You're no longer at the mercy of external circumstances. Instead, you become a vessel for higher energy, a channel through which love, joy, and wisdom can flow freely. So, here's a question for you. What are you holding on to right now that's keeping you stuck? Maybe it's a grudge, a goal, or an old version of yourself that no longer serves you. What would it feel like to let it go, not with bitterness or regret, but with gratitude and trust? Sit with that question for a moment. Because the truth is, the moment you release what no longer serves you, you step into the infinite potential of who you truly are. The hidden energetic cost of resistance, why flow is the key to a higher vibration. Let's take this journey even deeper. If detachment is about letting go, then the natural next step is learning how to flow, how to move with life instead of against it. But let's start with a question: how much of your energy is spent resisting what is? Think about it. How often do you find yourself wishing things were different, replaying the past, or worrying about the future? This resistance, whether you realize it or not, creates a massive energetic drain. It's like trying to swim upstream in a raging river. You exhaust yourself, and yet you get nowhere. Highly spiritual people have mastered the art of flow. They understand that resistance lowers vibration, while flow elevates it. Flow isn't about giving up, it's about aligning with the natural rhythm of life. It's about recognizing that life isn't happening to you, it's happening for you. Every obstacle, every delay, every unexpected twist is part of a greater plan designed to help you grow and expand. The question is, are you willing to trust that plan, even when it doesn't align with your expectations? Resistance often comes from a place of fear. We resist change because we fear the unknown. We resist emotions like sadness or anger because we fear being overwhelmed. We resist situations that challenge us because we fear failure. But here's the irony: the more you resist, the more these things persist. What you fight, you feed. What you accept, you transcend. This is a universal truth that highly spiritual people live by. They don't waste their energy fighting the current. Instead, they surrender to it and allow it to carry them to new levels of awareness and growth. Let me ask you this: what are you resisting in your life right now? Maybe it's a difficult conversation you've been avoiding. Maybe it's a truth about yourself that you're not ready to face. Or maybe it's a situation that feels unfair or overwhelming. Whatever it is, I want you to consider this: what if, instead of resisting, you leaned into it? What if you trusted that this challenge is here to teach you something, to help you evolve? What if the very thing you're resisting is the key to your next level of growth? Highly spiritual people don't see challenges as obstacles, they see them as opportunities. They understand that every challenge carries a hidden gift, a lesson, a shift, a breakthrough. But you can only access that gift when you stop resisting and start flowing. Flow requires trust, and trust requires faith. Faith in yourself, faith in the process, and faith in the universe. This doesn't mean you won't feel fear or doubt. It means you choose to move forward anyway, knowing that the path will reveal itself as you walk it. One of the most powerful ways to cultivate flow is through mindfulness. When you're fully present, you're in harmony with life. You're not stuck in the past or projecting into the future, you're here, now, in this moment. And in this moment, there is no resistance. There is only what is. Highly spiritual people make it a practice to return to the present whenever they feel resistance creeping in. They breathe, they ground themselves, and they remind themselves that everything is temporary. The river of life is always moving, and the only way to navigate it is to let go and trust the current. Flow also requires flexibility. Life is unpredictable. Plans change, people change, circumstances change. If you're rigid, these changes will feel like disruptions. But if you're flexible, they become opportunities to grow and adapt. Think of a tree in a storm. The rigid tree snaps, but the flexible tree bends and survives. Highly spiritual people embody this flexibility. They don't cling to how they think things should be. Instead, they adapt to how things are. And in doing so, they maintain their peace and elevate their vibration. But here's the thing: flow doesn't mean passivity. It doesn't mean sitting back and waiting for life to happen to you. It means taking inspired action that is aligned with your truth and your highest good. When you're in flow, you're not forcing or pushing. You're responding. You're co-creating with the universe. And that's when magic happens. Doors open, synchronicities appear, and what once felt hard becomes effortless. So, here's a question for you. Where in your life can you invite more flow? Is there a situation you've been resisting that you can approach with trust and openness? Is there a belief you've been clinging to that no longer serves you? Take a moment to reflect on this. Because the truth is, the more you flow, the higher your vibration becomes. And the higher your vibration, the more aligned you are with the energy of abundance, love, and infinite possibility. When you live in flow, you're not just existing, you're thriving. You're no longer at war with life, you're dancing with it. And in that dance, you discover the profound beauty and wisdom of the universe. The ultimate secret, aligning with love to unlock infinite possibilities. As we reach the final part of this journey, let's talk about the ultimate key to raising your vibration, aligning with love. It might sound simple, even cliché, but love is the most powerful force in the universe. Not the fleeting, conditional love we often associate with romance or attachment, but the deep, unconditional love that flows through everything. This love is the essence of who you are. When you align with it, you're not just raising your vibration, you're stepping into your highest potential. But here's the challenge: love and fear cannot coexist. And fear, as we've explored, is the root of resistance, attachment, and all the lower vibrations that keep us stuck. Every thought, action, and choice we make is either rooted in love or fear. The question is, which one are you choosing? Are you making decisions out of fear of judgment, rejection, or failure? Or are you choosing love for yourself, for others, and for life itself? Highly spiritual people consciously choose love, even in the face of fear. They understand that love is not just an emotion, it's an energy, a frequency, a way of being. When you align with love, you align with the natural flow of the universe. You open yourself to abundance, joy, creativity, and connection. But aligning with love requires courage. It means letting go of the stories that tell you you're not good enough, not worthy, or not capable. It means seeing beyond the illusion of separation and recognizing that we are all interconnected. Let me ask you this: when was the last time you truly acted out of love, pure, unconditional love, with no expectation of anything in return? Maybe it was a kind word to a stranger, a moment of forgiveness, or simply being present with someone you care about. How did it feel? That feeling is your natural state. It's who you are when you strip away the fear, doubt, and ego. And the more you align with that state, the more your vibration rises. But here's the thing: love starts with you. You cannot give what you do not have. Self-love is not selfish, it's essential. It's the foundation for everything else. Yet, so many of us struggle with it. We're so quick to criticize ourselves, to compare ourselves to others, to focus on what we lack instead of what we have. Highly spiritual people understand that self-love is a practice. It's not about being perfect, it's about being kind to yourself, forgiving yourself, and honoring your own journey. Because when you love yourself, you naturally radiate that love to others. One of the most profound ways to align with love is through gratitude. Gratitude shifts your focus from what's missing to what's present. It anchors you in the energy of abundance and appreciation. Highly spiritual people make gratitude a daily practice. They don't wait for something extraordinary to happen, they find beauty in the ordinary. The sunrise, the breath in their lungs, the smile of a stranger. Gratitude is a bridge to love, and love is the bridge to a higher vibration. So, let me leave you with this: what would your life look like if you chose love in every moment? How would it feel to let go of fear, judgment, and resentment, and instead embody compassion, forgiveness, and gratitude? Take a moment to sit with these questions. Because the truth is, love is not something you have to earn or find. It's already within you, waiting to be remembered. When you align with love, you align with the infinite possibilities of the universe. And that, my friend, is where true freedom, joy, and fulfillment reside.